It's game time. The Kid Gowie. Ravens Nation. All we know is purple and black. And if you're not a Ravens fan, Welcome to Baltimore, Maryland, M&T Bank Stadium, where opponents don't make it out alive unless we bury them. Every team be afraid of them, especially all the quarterbacks, cause our defensive linemen won't hesitate to leave you sack. Let's take a minute, go back to Super Bowl 35. Domination was an understatement up against the Giants. Numerous touchdowns, they put up numbers, and it didn't take a nutritionist to see they hunger. Only stat Kerry Collins could get was interceptions. He must have thought throwing to the D counted as receptions. The pass was legendary, but don't sleep on the present. Our secondary make quarterbacks avoid their direction. You tryna run the ball, you better hope your blockers work. You can juke, you can spin, but your destination's the turf. This is a man's game, being soft will get you hurt. Watch the defense force a fumble and the fans go berserk. 17 weeks, only one league out of 32 squads. No one's messing with our team. We all bleed black and purple, you can check our IVs. Raven Nation fly high, watch us all spread our wings. Put your game face on, embarrass the competition. You ain't talking about the greatest if the Ravens aren't mentioned. Screw every other team, cause those dudes are whack. In Baltimore, the only thing we know is purple and black. Go! They always win when the championship's on the line, so if you hoping that they failed, then you really wasting your time. Go and ask the 49ers, I'm pretty sure they remember when they made a comeback, but weren't declared the winners. 2 rings down, but you know they won't stop now. If the opposing D's caught slipping, you know exactly how that goes. That's another deep connection for 6 points in the end zone. The stadium goes wacko as Ravens put in work. Pittsburgh Steelers, that still curtain is looking more like a skirt. So tell me who they say is going to beat the Bengals? Who used to be the Browns until they relocated? Ravens, they are one of the greatest. There's simply no denying it. To beat them, bringing your A game's a requirement. With the youth of the team, I bet they still be dominant, even after the greatest linebacker's retirement. 17 weeks, only one league out of 32 squads. No one's messing with our team. We all bleed black and purple, you can check our IVs. Raven Nation fly high, watch us all spread our wings. Put your game face on, embarrass the competition. You ain't talking about the greatest if the Ravens aren't mentioned. Screw every other team, cause those dudes are whack. In Baltimore, the only thing we know is purple and black. Go!
Renegade.
Okay, now I don't know what. See, this is the problem. This is the problem. You do a restart in your computer, and then the settings go off. So hopefully now you can hear me. I think it should be audio, and I'm hoping when we do call-ins there is a yeah, I'm hoping. Hold on. I think I need to do something else in here. Can you hear me now? Now we can hear you. Okay, good. Good. Okay, can you hear me now? I think you can. Yes. Okay, good. Shout out to all of you guys. I was saying thank you, Jasich. Thank you, Don Dimelo, Joshua, Paul, Christian, Don C, Devin Dukes, Joshua, Paul Masek, Terrence, Devin Dukes, and all you guys that are here. Shout out to all of you. Remember tomorrow, and I know that this is sorry. Last week I wasn't here, and all my settings it looks like it's changing, and then this thing is annoyingly close. And please focus. But anyway, shout out to all of you that are here. Let me see, because I had a couple of topics here, and then I might take some phone calls. Hopefully, it's not broken. I know the video says Ravens biggest threat, and we're gonna talk about that soon. And it's mostly in the AFC North, what I'm gearing into. Lamar Jackson and the PFT comments, or it wasn't in the comments. It wasn't a comment. I saw the tweet. Look, I think it's funny. I think it's funny how people just exploded, and I think as Ravens fans, we are very defensive of Lamar Jackson, and that's fine. That is fine. I didn't see any problems for him to be playing with the kids, right? I mean, he was like in a charity event. I'm okay with that. But this is drives me crazy. Hold on. Just focus. Thank you. But PFT did had a good point. If he blows his ACL, so a couple. Let's just break this down. If he blows his ACL or gets hurt, dude is trying to get paid. That is gonna be a problem. They didn't say don't be out there, but he could have been just quarterback throwing to the kids, and that's right there is amazing. But if he blows his ACL or something, now how that affect his career? Now as Ravens fan, I remember this. Hopefully you guys remember this. Remember when Terrell Suggs came from that Defensive Player of the Year and he goes playing basketball, blow his ACL? I remember the 105.7 calls, people saying, oh, how can he be doing that? Blah, blah, blah. See, I had no problem with Terrell Suggs playing basketball. None. No issue. But, I mean, I want him fed. Basketball's a good play. Unfortunately, he got hurt. Right? So I see their point. I see the point of people saying leave him the F alone. I got it. But I'm just saying people are so defensive of Lamar that you have to read past their point. I don't think there was no malicious, no bad intent, right? They were mostly saying like, yo, you're about to get paid 40-something mil, but you're not there yet. Running like that in the asphalt, you know, you have to be careful. They didn't say don't be with the kids, don't be there throwing the ball. They didn't say none of that. Don't be just shooting, right? He's saying, you know, playing drills as a wide receiver as a corner. You have to be careful because you don't want to get hurt. And it's funny because a lot of the people are like, yes, leave him the F alone. If he goes out there, gets hurt, be like, oh man, why he have to go play, blah, blah, blah. So all I'm saying is I'm happy that he's doing this for the kid. I love Lamar. I love his spirit. I love all that he brings. I love that he cares about his community. But also, we also have to acknowledge that what he did, although it was great and he was having fun, I shout out to my guy in Raven, I saw his video, but also, if he gets hurt, now the conversation changes. We are only saying leave him the F alone because our dude is healthy. And as long as Lamar's healthy, you can keep saying that. If he gets hurt, the tune will change. And I don't want that, right? I want him to be safe. I want him to get paid. I want him to be a Raven. So that's all I'm saying. Okay? Let me see some of the comments here. That's BS, man. That's has everything to do with the agents. Dusty, can you clarify that comment? Love it. Did you see Lamar get rushed by those kids back? Look, I love that too, Devin. I love it. Again, I love that he just does a lot of stuff in the community. He's always attentive to the kids. I love it. I love it, man. I 100% love it. Yeah, agents just got put on notice. He could blow his ACL working out. Yeah, I agree with that too, Jay. I'm not saying, again, with the whole Turtle Sucks situation, I was fine with that. I'm just saying the article. Okay, let me say this. I have no problem watching Lamar playing with the kids. I'm just saying people were just taking it deep with the article. I'm like, you can see their point too, right? Because if you're Lamar, you want to get paid. If you get hurt, that is the worst outcome for getting paid. Although, look at that. I mean, I know nothing. Look at that. He got hurt. He got 40 mil. So, it's getting disgusting the way that they treat Lamar and cutting like he would on the field, and I think all them people there know how important Lamar is. Yes, college draft picks won't need agents. They'll have 4 years with money. Agents are the way of the path. Not fair. Lamar is sneakers, not slice or flip flop. Okay. Agents are just as bad as ambulance chasers. Lawyers, not all lawyers, just the shady ones. That's all fair. Okay, anyway, all I'm saying again for the PFT is I see their point. I don't remember reading that they said don't go play, don't be with the kids, don't throw to the kids. Just you're gonna get paid 40 plus, don't put that in jeopardy. That's it. Wasn't like don't have fun, none of that. Just don't put your money in jeopardy. And as Ravens fan, look, I want him to keep working in the community. I love that he's with the kids. I love that he's bringing happiness to those kids, right? Like, only imagine. Like, growing up, my idol was Michael Jordan. And a couple other athletes that you might not recognize, like Felix Tito Trinidad and Carlos Arroyo and some other guys that, again, you guys might not recognize they're Puerto Ricans, right? And other baseball players, Delgado, Beltran, and some of the other ones. If I would ever see one of those, I would freak out. As a kid, I mean, as an adult, I might still freak out. So that's what I'm saying. I'm happy that he's doing it. I'm happy that, as long as he's healthy, there's no problem. And I'm having no problem with him working out. And like somebody said here, that can happen as he's working out. True. I'm just saying that was their angle. I don't think there was mountain. Not like PFF was very disrespectful of Lamar, giving him not only not top 50, saying that he's the 10th best quarterback and putting some very trashy quarterbacks on top of him. That I had a problem with, but I don't want to digress. Don C says, Sonny was saying the agents are going to be pissed if he does this deal with an agent. Oh, I got you. These are powerful. Oh, yeah. Well, the problem that the agents have is Lamar literally is going to walk there. It's like, you see that guy over there in Dallas? He ain't as good as me. He got 40, and he's coming from a major injury. Negotiations start with 40 plus now. I mean, that's what it is, right? That literally is what it's going to be. So, yeah. Shout out to Walt Stillwell says, I read an agent can only make 3% of an NFL player's contract. Yeah, but 3% of 40 mil per year. It's a lot of dough. Let's see here. It's 1.2 million. I'll take that cake. 1.2 mil per year let's say that will be only for Lamar, right? And then you get Dak Prescott, that's another 1.2 mil, right? And then you have 10. Let's say you had 10 that is making between 1.2 and 600,000 to 1.2, right? Let's say they're just making 600,000 per player per year, and you had 10. That's 6 mil right there. 6 mil. Yeah, 3% is a lot. Cam Neo, shout out to you, man. Thank you for joining. But wait, 3%, 40 mil times 50 plays a lot of money, man. Yeah. Baltimore boy, shout out to you. These narratives are only being put out there to help the agents. I agree. Look, I have no problems with Lamar negotiating without aging. It has nobody should be looking for how you say this better for him than his mom, right? So I have no problem. The only thing that I personally have heard that the agents do that is good for the team, it's not for the player, is in negotiation. Let's say Lamar wants 45. I'm making numbers up, right? Say he wants 45, and let's say Aaron Rodgers wants 40, makes 44, and everybody's like, well, he's not as good as Aaron Rodgers. And then they start listing the efficiency just to bring that price down. Well, supposedly what agents do, again, supposedly, is mask those comments, right? You don't want to hurt feelings. So they mask the comments and like, hey, this is back and forth. That's all they do. But I think that's 1.2 mil is rich just to do that. Okay. Before I go again to the last portion of this, let me address the AFC North rankings. How is it going so far? We moved to the defense, which got me excited, and next week ain't gonna be good. But for now, got me excited. We were ranking DBs since I last came here. DBs and interior defensive linemen. Look, the Ravens, the defensive back, this is not including safeties, was unanimous number one. Unanimous number one in the AFC North talk. So that means everybody voted for the number one. Browns were number two, and then Steelers and Bengals flip-flop on one vote. But the Steelers were also pretty solid on number three, and the Bengals fourth. But now interior defensive linemen, that went all over the place. And the Ravens and Steelers were tied. I voted for the Ravens number one and the interior defensive lineman. I thought the Ravens, and again, the problem is sacks. When you talk about interior defensive linemen, the sacks usually are not there. Big Baby is not a sack guy. We thought Calais Campbell was, but not a sacks guy. As you play a 3-4, as I said in the podcast, what you want is these three massive dudes to eat space, and hopefully your edges have one-on-one matchups, and then they can win that one-on-one matchup. Our problem is our edges don't do that. But also, just clog those lanes on the run. You make sure there's no lanes for them to run. That B gap should be sealed. A gap should be sealed, right? Nothing goes between tackles. Nothing. And that's what you want your three guys to do. And I think our three guys do that exceptionally well. That's why I voted for them. Also, the Ravens have more depth. I love Matabuki. I think Matabuki might be a problem. Matabuki might be what we wanted for Derrick Henry to be. In a younger. No, Derrick Henry was young, but in a healthy player. I just need him to stay healthy. Okay. Okay. So, last topic here, and let me bring this. If there's anybody who wants to call this show, there it is. 443-292-2337. 443-292-2337. Remember, tomorrow, 5:45 p.m. Eastern, AFC North Talk. And we're going to be doing, just because you're my show, let me just tell you what we're going to do tomorrow. It's going to be edge rushers. So, not pretty for the Ravens. Okay. Ravens' biggest threat. How do we beat them? Okay. I'm not here to sugarcoat it and just spend hours just going around. Ravens' biggest threat is literally in our wheelhouse, and is the Cleveland Browns. It is. Because, and you say, Sonny, but the Chiefs, yes. The problem is, before the Chiefs, you had to pass the Browns, right? And the Browns finished worse than us. Same record, but we beat them last year. But they got better this year. No, I mean, the secondary is not good. Forgot to bring water. The secondary was not good. And they went out there and they addressed their safety weren't good, and they went out there, they addressed it. Now, the problem that the Browns have, which works to the Ravens fairly good, is the Ravens now, they brought up weapons in the secondary. I mean, the receiving side, they have receivers, right? We talk about this. I'm super hyped from our receivers. So they have weapons. The question is, can they translate? Okay, we still have Mark Andrews. Cool. Our O-line got better, right? Thinking about 2 years ago, it was not better than 2 years ago, but it's definitely better than last year, right? So let's see if Ben Cleveland can win the job. But if he doesn't and Ben Power wins it, I'm fine with that. I'm still kind of concerned how Bozeman will be as a center, but we'll see. Okay, so now that we have a better five, but that's not only that. Where Cleveland's weakness is one of the places the Ravens can exploit any team the most is between the center and guard and tackle. Between the tackles, that middle. And look at this. The Cleveland Browns right now have two really good pass rushers. One is one of the best in the league. The other one is a really good one on Clowney. And people say, Sonny, whoa. You see that? Yes. But I also see that edge rushers, although they can bother Lamar, they bother Lamar the least. You know who bothers Lamar a lot? That interior defensive pressure. Think about early in the year when we were playing the Browns early, and who did we play last year early? I can't remember right now, but whoever we were playing, that interior pressure was getting to us. And that interior pressure was getting to Lamar, and Lamar looked, off his game. And that's not only on Lamar, that's players, but this also is particular to Lamar because when the edges rush to him, he can juke one and now. Not only he left that player behind, the containment to that left or the right side is completely open, right? So let's, for example, he's dropped back, looking to throw. Myles Garrett comes, he sees it, jukes him out. Myles Garrett's now trying to pursue Lamar. Well, the problem is there's a lane there, and there's two things happening. The players see him and they collapse on Lamar, and that opens lanes to the throwing game, or nobody wants to abandon their players. So Lamar just in the open field. It's a cheat sheet. It's just done deal. It's going to be a first down. So, but when you come through that middle, now it's hard to escape to the middle. So now you have to force yourself to the edge. Now your edges are looking what's happening. So Lamar doesn't have time to just look at that edge. He's trying to get away from the middle. So usually that sack comes from the edge, right? So those are very important. So saying that, the Cleveland Browns right now, their weakest point is definitely to that middle. And I love JOK coming out of college, but still, JOK is a rookie. And that defensive line interior is Malik Jackson is what they're hoping he can save them. Malik Jackson is going to be good for like 10 to 12 snaps a game. So Lamar Jackson ran into that A to B gap, which they did a lot last year. I prefer the running backs running inside and Lamar taking the stretch, but last year they flip it. Look, Cleveland has no answer for that. Cleveland has no answer for that yet. And they're not going to get answered this year. So last year we swept them. This year I think we can sweep them again because of that. Defense obviously has to come on point because that Browns team in general is great. It's a really good team. And then they're coming into one more year, the Stefanski coaching staff, system. So it's important for the Ravens to keep exploiting that middle of the field. Not necessarily in the passing game, because the passing game, again, their secondary looks good. But on the running side, I still don't see how can they stop this. And the problem is, I don't want us to get too passing happy. I think this team still should be a run first, even with the weaponry on receiver. You do run first, and then when you see people stacking the box, that's when you exploit the pass. And when you see the teams relaxing, you push the run, and you keep them always. You always work on the mismatch. Lamar, it's a weapon that not many teams has, and the teams he's a nightmare for the coordinators. That's the reality. It's the reality. Okay. So let me see here. Darcy says, dude, and Mary did a show. Wait, shake yourself just to make sure you're being a good person. He's a great person. Oh yeah, let me put this here from Darcy. Yeah. Lamar is an amazing dude. That's one of the things I love about him. Again, I'm not trying, Darcy. I'm not trying to criticize Lamar at all. At all. I'm happy he's doing that for the kids. All I was saying is you can see the angle where PFD was coming. And I understand that we are very defensive with Lamar, especially when PFF was throwing all that trash at Lamar. So that being said, I think I agree with everything that the fans had expressed. Leave Lamar alone, blah blah blah. All I was saying is, if for some reason he would have got hurt, I can see the fans turning in a different story. Canadians have been throwing a huge fit about the impact of taxes on signing free agents to NHL teams. Yeah, Vancouver lost that Stanley Cup, man. Canada's not happy. Also, England. Shout out to England. They play good. But Cup didn't come home, as they keep saying. It was a great game in the Euro Cup. What up, Sonny? Just leaving work. Man, we in here, Raven Rasta. Thank you for joining the live stream. Interior rush is worse against Mike. Look, Cam, yes. Yes, it is. It is. Yeah, man. Joshua, yes. Team Keep It Clean. My guy, too, in Raven. He's been here multiple times. So, yeah. You should always listen to him, baby. Do this, a good guy. Franklin's a monster. I didn't even realize he was 357 until he's 357, but he's built. Like I saw pictures of Ben Cleveland. I'm like, how is this dude not fat? Like he's built. Like my guy is built. So hope the start. Okay, you hope that they start beat Cleveland. I think they have to. I don't want to see Powers over there. I mean, that's fair. I want them to have whoever the best guard for the left side is. I'm fine, whoever. I don't care. I hope for Ben Powers, but when they got Ben Cleveland, I had a second. Okay, fair. Hey, it's fair. Last year they drafted, remember, another guy, a guard in the third round. So I'm just saying, guys, whoever the best guard is, that's what we want. Whoever it is. It was Montreal. Oh, that's true. Montreal that lost the Stanley Cup this time. I'm sorry. I got my hockey mistaken. I had hopes for Power too. That's what from Terrence. Yes, I haven't read off Powers. I think he is the next in line. It's funny because we have so many interior linemen, and I'm gonna bring a show on the 53-man roster. But as of right now for the line, what I see is obviously the starting bookends, which is Stanley and our guy Alejandro Villanueva. And then I think they're going to keep our guy Phillips as the swing tackle backup. Okay. And then you're going to see them going potentially Cleveland and then Seidler and then the center Bozeman. And then Macquarie, the backup center. And then you're going to see our other guy, Ben Powers, as the backup guard. And whoever's left as a guard, which we have like 1,000, some of them are gonna go IR end of the year, and then the other ones are gonna be whatever. So cut, yeah, they're probably gonna be cut or traded. Sonny, we appreciate you staying up late to feed us content, bro. I don't know how you do it. 5 hours difference. It's okay, man. Yeah, Don Steve, he can be a fullback. Yeah, man. For me, the time staying. I always say, because my coworkers say, like, hey, how can you do it? It's like, I sleep 5 hours, that's fine. Tomorrow is my longest day because I usually go to bed past midnight and wake up at 5. So, but I love this, guys. I love doing this. And as the season keeps going, which I'm pumped. Look, this is my schedule right now. My schedule is soccer or football, as they call it here. And now I'm pumped for the Olympics, right? And I root for my little island, Puerto Rico. And when the Puerto Ricans are not there, I will root for the U.S., right? And when the U.S. is not there, I guess my kids now, because they go to the British schools, they're rooting for England so they can be happy for the little friends. Okay, so that's my tiered list for who I'm rooting for the Olympics. And now the Olympics bring me all the way to preseason. And I'm hyped for preseason. I am not one of those that, preseason sucks. I'm not watching preseason live, but I'll watch the games afterwards because I'm recording them. And then I'll just see all these players playing and then do my assessment videos and all that good stuff. And then the NFL, for you, don't see, hated me because they started the Ravens all this preseason, no, not preseason, primetime games, which I had to wake up 1 in the morning to watch. Okay, so those are always tough. But if you follow me on IG, I always do a halftime show to see how they're going. Okay, Joshua says we're about seeing how we get running back draft off Cleveland, Bozeman, and Carolina, and AB at left guard. That a big, yeah. Oh man, our line is huge. Right now, our smallest guy is in Bozeman. I think Bozeman's our smallest guy. Got the biggest line in the NFL, man. You gotta start watching Euro hockey leagues. Give us Americans some updates from over there, dude. The reality is, I know there's not. I'm not supposed to do that here, but what I do, I VPN. I watch all American TV. The only reason I was watching the Euro Cup is because it was in ESPN. I don't watch nothing British. Nothing. I don't BBC. I watch it on YouTube. That's it. It's Sky News on YouTube. Right. That's how I know what's happening in this country. But yeah, I VPN and watch YTTV. Hopefully they don't take me down because that's how I watch my Ravens. VPN to Baltimore. Watch the Ravens. So anyway, guys, this was fun. A short little video, fun on a Monday. Off season still here. Yeah, man. Yeah. Look, I did that shout out. I was rooting for England last night. I was rooting for them hard, but I also will recognize this, Rasta, that as soon as Italia tied it up, I said, done. Italy was playing with so much more intensity. Sterling was a non-factor. I don't want to become this a soccer channel, but Sterling was a non-factor in this game. Kane looked slow. I like the kid Saka, but they put him in too late. So I feel like this has been the longest off season of my life. That's what I'm saying, right? Me too. I cannot wait for the NFL season. This off season has to go long. That's why, man. What info access like? Oh, it's fine. There's no they're free-ish, right? You don't have as much liberty to say whatever you want, but press-wise, it's free. It's pretty free. But so yeah, it's eclectic. Yeah, longest off season. I feel the same way. I don't know if it was because we had no fans last year. I wanted to go to a game since my trip here got delayed, and obviously because of COVID, we didn't go to a game. So I'm not going to a game for years now. But yeah, how much playing time do you think Owe and Bateman get in the preseason? With the knowledge both will have starting work, you have to give them playing time, especially Owe. Come on, Owe needs like every single rep that he can get. But Bateman too. But Bateman is a polished receiver, polished route runner. Bateman needs time with Lamar more than anything, but still, you will see Bateman a half. Owe, I'll put him effing every time I can. Like the more the better for Owe. Owe needs time. So yeah. Thank you for that question, Devin. So Dossie concurs. Yep, Raven. Yeah. Raven Rasta. Midfield was just England got an early goal in minute 2, and after that it was just after that they played too soft. They definitely played too soft. British Raven, look at that. There's a British Raven here. He probably watched this game too. Tylen Wallace will have a massive impact in this Raven this year. Let's not forget about him. Not forget about Tylen Wallace. But you saw the playing time that one of my favorite guys, Devin. I always think Duvernay. Duvernay. Whatever. I always confuse him with our guy that used to be our pass rush. But you know the playing time that he got, that's roughly what you're gonna see for Wallace. Because Harbaugh's not about to throw rookies. Bateman's a first round pick, so he will be thrown out there. And Ben Cleveland makes the team, right? Makes a starting role. He will be out there. And then again, first round, it's that we barely have edge rusher. So you will see him also in the field a lot. But other than those three, the rest of the team, you're gonna see him. Special team, maybe a little bit of coverage. Stephens, third round pick, he's very raw, so you're gonna see him a little bit sprinkle here and there, mostly special teams. Our guy Heist from Notre Dame, right? You might see him a little bit more because we just don't have any special any pass rushers, right? So you might see him a little bit more. And Mason, I'm curious to see what you're gonna do with Mason because we already have a fullback, and you don't need two fullbacks. That one, I'm very curious. You see the headline about Lamar putting himself in danger with playing on the blacktop at the fun day with LJ. Yes, sure, boy, GMC. I spoke about it earlier. I said that I can see their angle because nobody wants Lamar to get hurt. But I appreciate Lamar doing what he does for the kids. Essentially, that's where it comes. The point that I was bringing earlier was I can see the point of PFT because you don't want to get hurt. Again, Terrell sucks. Blew his ACL playing basketball. But I absolutely love that Lamar brings cheer and happiness to kids. That, it's good. It's really good. It's really good for your community, especially for your hometown. I'm grateful that we have a quarterback cares. That's just my opinion. Bateman gets first TD in the league during the preseason. Oh, yeah. He probably will get one there. Unless they limit his snap, but yeah. Asmodeus' brother, and they do have my chickens here. They do. The reason why I didn't, and I forgot to mention this last week, the reason I was not here Monday last week, I did a road trip to a couple of places in England, and Monday I was driving back, so I was extremely tired. How about Hayes? Yes, that's what I meant earlier. Haynes who gets some playing time. Joshua Abrahams. Yes, because we don't have a lot of edge rushers. He's not polished, not the road. He's experienced in college, so I think he might get some time because of that. Again, my curiosity is amazing. My question is, are we gonna see Pat Ricard moving more to the D tackle, the interior D lineman position, and that then you can see Mason doing his thing on the fullback position, or are we shelving Mason for a year and then Pat Ricard? I know this will break some people's heart, but he might not be here next year. Remember, we're about to pay Mark Andrews, Lamar Jackson, potentially Hollywood Brown. Sorry. So shading some millions here and there for the fullback position is just smart. Thus, he says, Sonny, you are sick about hearing about the paper. Hey, man, AFC North talk, man. AFC North talk. And we're finishing the AFC North talk with our record predictions. We are finishing with our record prediction. So stay tuned. We have Edge. By popular demand, people wanted to get head coach or in front office, and then we get linebackers. And my guys wanted to finish with safeties. So safety will be the last position. That's it. Okay. Football's coming to Rome. I would say this, Toby team. I travel very little, but now that I'm in Europe, I want to travel a lot. So Rome is one of the ones that is in my bucket list. I wasn't heartbroken because I'm not from England, but I was rooting for England. I was cheering them. I was frustrated they didn't win, but it's nothing like when in the Ravens lose, I get pissed for a little bit. Like my wife knows just like a 30-minute time at least that you just leave me alone. It's just, and if it was a heartbreaker, you wait for a while because I just need time. I just need time. Yeah, I get upset, right? But if it is like if the Ravens, which it hasn't happened recently, but if the Ravens just get crushed, like absolutely manhandle, then I'm not as mad because I get upset like and earlier, but by the time the game is over, I just frustrated, right? So, but anyway, shout out to you, Toby. Destroy Quincy Sunny. Q has been happy. He's optimistic, but he doesn't want to go too hard because I think Q is afraid that if he goes all in and he buys in all the way and then they do something stupid, that he's gonna look ridiculous. So Q has been pulling. Q has been more mad at the Bengals fans, to be honest, than any other fan base, which is funny. It's been funny. It's been funny, man. But yeah, with where I have to, I will. Don't worry. That has come. Paul says, Sunny, will you be doing post-game reviews in the regular season? So this is my intention for when we do Ravens context. As soon as the season starts, I watch the games live, and again, I wake up in the 1 in the morning for the primetime games. Then on halftime, I do a show 5-10 minutes maybe, just for the halftime on IG. So if you haven't followed me on IG, and you can see that show, okay. And then for the post game, I try to do that one right away. And Raven streams right away, and some of the other guys stream right away. I try to use, because at the beginning I'm very emotional, even if we win or we lost. So I noticed myself that I needed like an hour, and then. So I'm thinking, and then the problem is going live stream during Sunday is not great. So I usually just do a recorded video and throw it out there, just giving my thoughts. And what I call those videos, and Paul, is what I love and hated about the game. And I will tell you, this is what I love, either plays or players, right? This is what I hated. Again, plays or players. And to be honest, when I did this last year, I usually had to reserve a place for Lamar Jackson, because Lamar Jackson did a lot of great things, but a couple of things that I didn't like. So I couldn't put in what I hated and what I loved. So Lamar Jackson had his own bubble. And basically I said my thoughts on Lamar Jackson, the good, the bad, the ugly. So that's what I do, Paul. Hopefully that answers your question. Gilbert Melton says, what do you think about a healthy Tavon Young? I got your V. The backfield this year and what it means for Baltimore. Look, if Tavon Young can stay healthy, that leaves Marlon on the outside, which is his best position. Marlon in the slot, he is good. I keep saying this. Marlon on the outside, he's an A+. On the inside, he's like a B, like a solid B. But, I mean, that is insane that a corner can do that, right? That's just versatility. That's Tavon Young's position. So that lets Marlon Humphrey play better, more freely in the position that he needs. Also, Marcus Peters, he can stay there. Also, when you need a breather, Jimmy Smith can come and he can stay outside, right? And then Marlon can be kicked inside from some place, so Tavon is not there all the place. Also, if they go 5 wide, look at this. Now you got 3 great corners that you should play on the outside, plus Tavon Young. That's 4 really good corners. It's going to be hard for a team. Well, not hard, but it's not as easy to go 5 wide or 4 wide against the Ravens, right? Because we have the talent. The problem with us is because we cannot produce a pass rush, They can only hold these teams for so long. Ravens safeties are third in the AFC North talk. I cannot say Joshua. I cannot say. I can only leave that for that show. But stay tuned. It should be fun. I don't know what will make me happier, a bad Steelers season or a bad Browns season. Q has made hate the Browns. Made me hate the Browns with a passion. I don't hate the Browns with a passion because of Q. And to be honest, there's a lot of great Brown fans that they have reached out to me, but I told this story to Q. Last Raven game, wasn't the last game that I went because I went to the playoff game, but now last year, the year before, I went when the Browns played the Ravens. We lost the Browns at home, and I keep remembering this. This lady, probably like her 50s, right? This lady sits down next to me. Like, I'm Ravens jersey all tucked up. She has a Browns jersey, and she's with the Browns group. And she looks at me. It's like, can we not do trash talking? Again, older lady, not trash talking. Just cheer for your team. I'll cheer for my team. I'm like, I'm good with that. I'm not here to try to be disrespectful, especially to a woman, especially to an older woman. I'm not trying to be disrespectful. Okay, so Ravens start, blah blah blah, and then the Browns pull, and then she started looking at me, and she's like, "That's how we do." I'm like, "Whoa, what happened to the non-trash talk? What you told me? You told, and when we scored, I respected that. You told me not to trash talk, and she's like in my face. I'm like, yo, what is this? What are you trying to trash talk me? I thought you were a sweet lady, and you try no. So that kind of my gear, but no, I Steelers first all day. And disclaimer, my dad is a Steelers fan with Steelers hate all day, all day long. Do you think? Anyway, I always remember this lady. Dancy says, "Do you think they will try to trade Anthony Averett? We have so many players in those spots." Maybe I like Anthony Averett, to be honest. I like how he has played. I like his growth. But that's a potential trade. If he kills in the preseason, yes, I'll put it like that, Don. If he kills in the preseason, then his value gets elevated. Yes, that one was scary. Oh man, it was just funny, man. It was she had a crew, and again, I'm not there to trash talk any particular person. I had trash talk a lot of people. I remember when we played the Saints, man. And this guy was trash talking me. I was trash talking him back. And I remember when they scored, he's like, "Oh man, MF this is over. I told you." We had Flacco like that. Your QB's trash, blah blah blah. I mean, he went all out. And then we go back and we score a touchdown. I was like, "What, boy? What?" And obviously, Tucker misses the extra point, and then I have stories from Raven Stadium, right? I'm not there to trash talk. Usually, I just minding my own business, cheering for the team. And if I sometimes meet up, last couple times, couple of you guys, I have meet up with you guys, talk Ravens stuff. I can't remember all the people. I met like 4 or 5 of you guys, which was cool. But yeah, it was funny. So you did become a Ravens fan to mess with your dad? No. I became a Ravens fan because of Ray Lewis. When I say my dad is a Steelers fan, my dad is not a diehard Steelers fan. My dad is a fan that he roots for the Steelers and the Ravens. Now, he likes to poke me like, "Oh, can I buy the girls Steelers stuff?" And I'm like, "If you want to see them in the trash." And then he would tell my daughters, especially when they were really, really young, say go Steelers, right? And I look at my daughters like, you know what? Santa hates the Steelers. Santa Claus hates the I told my daughter, Santa Claus hates the Steelers. Hold on, because I'm not taking any. We went deep. This podcast turned to deep and personal, but I told my daughter, like, girls, Santa Claus hates Steelers. And it will put you in the naughty list. if you say those stuff. I'm not joking. And one thing I do with my daughter is I call Santa Claus. Like, say, I'll call Santa Claus and tell him, you're saying that. No, no, no. But Abuelito said, like, Abuelito is talking nonsense. Abuelito's talking nonsense right now. I'm just telling you, if you want your gifts, Santa Claus hates the Steelers. I'm just telling you that, right? And then, so we were doing this, and then we were watching the Ravens game that afternoon, and a Santa Claus Ravens fan was there. And I'm like, you see? Santa sent one of his helpers to Ravens Stadium because he loves the Ravens so much. I'm just telling you, don't lose your gifts. Don't say those things because you don't want to be naughty with. So yeah, that's another story. Another of my story. Okay. So I might miss some comments here. I see a lot of you guys laughing. It's just stuff that I do, You think Keith Williams finally pushed Miles Boykins towards a full potential in year 3? Yeah, this is the year for Miles to do the job. And also, again, Miles is a big body receiver. I know Bateman's a 50-50 guy, but Miles has the potential, has the body. He needs to, get that. Yes, I did, man. I did that. Santa, when they're little, Santa is your best friend. I don't know if you guys have kids. I became a dad when I was very young, so Santa has been my friend. Santa's my boy. Santa Claus does hate the trash Steelers. If Santa Claus liked the Steelers, we will all leave permanently bros out for him. I didn't get what you were saying, Thomas. Hey, Raven Rasta, you do what you have to do, right? You do what you have to do. I think I think that's the only like team that I said to them, because they said like me and my wife, like I introduced my wife to football watching the Steelers Colts game. We were dating back then. I was rooting for the Steelers. I always hated the Colts. It wasn't that I hated the Colts. I just did not like Peyton Manning. That's literally, I just did not. Ask me the reason, I have no reason. I just didn't like Peyton Manning. So we became a fan of Drew Brees. So when we were watching the Saints, my wife would cheer for the Saints. And my daughter's like, but mommy's cheering for the Saints. I'm like, yeah, Santa doesn't have a problem with the Saints. It's just the Steelers. The Steelers are the bad boys. He doesn't like the Steelers. So yeah, my daughter, she used to call the Steelers the Squealers because she heard me. But the Bengals, she thought, again, my daughters were little. She used to call the Bengals the Beagles or the Bagels. Beagles or Bagels. Sometimes came the Beagles, sometimes the Bagels. And the Browns, well, again, this is because of me. She called them the Clowns. But the Bengals, that was because I usually call them the Bungles, whatever. I stopped doing that in the ASC talk because people got into their feelings. But the Beagles and Bagels, that was new to me. So it's a Western PA food chain that puts fries inside a sandwich and calls it a style of food. I never heard of that. Maybe when I come back, I need to check that. I will never, ever, ever doubt Sonny's favorite fandom. Dude, I'm a hardcore. Again, I wake up at 1 a.m. to watch this team. And then if I can make it to work, I make it. But I tell my boss, like, yo, I'm taking a PTO today because the Ravens are playing. I remember when the Ravens won the Super Bowl in 2012, I was in Maryland for like a year, and I went to that. And I made it inside the stadium. Look, I was so excited. I made it inside the stadium. I remember seeing my guy Reed, 2 tickets to paradise. I remember Ray Lewis coming and doing the Larry Squirrel dance. That was amazing. And then I couldn't find a ride back. And I remember having like $15 or something like that, or $20. and telling a cab driver like, "Yo, all I have is this. Can you take me to Glen Burnie?" Dude was so short, and then he quoted me like 30 or 40. It's like, "Yo, I had no money." He's like, I said like, "I can pay you if you take a credit card," and he's like, "I don't have no credit card." So I told you I have a 20. What do you want me to do? So he took it, but he was pissed at me. I was like, "I asked you, can this 20 take me to Glen Burnie?" And you say yes. So that's all I have. That's all I have. But that was exciting too. And I try to go to a game or two. I will say this: when it comes to cold weather, I don't usually participate unless it's a playoff game, because being from the Caribbean, thin-blooded, yeah, that cold affects me more than some of y'all. More than some of y'all. He was in the boat for all those years. Yeah, man, I started watching the Ravens when they drafted Troy Smith. So that was a year before Flacco. I watched the Ravens here and there, but I wouldn't call myself that I was a fan. I like Ray Lewis, but I also like Donovan McNabb. Believe it or not, I used to like TO. So I rooted for different teams. Like in basketball, I will like switch from teams depending on the players. And then in Troy Smith, the year before, I guess, I became a Ravens fan. So I remember watching the draft, and I was excited when they drafted Troy Smith. I was very young. I was in high school. Yeah, I was excited about that draft. And then the following year, they drafted Flacco, and I was surprised. But I mean, it was like Flacco. I thought Troy Smith was going to start. And, well, the rest is history. Big fan since then. I was down in New Orleans for 2013 Super Bowl. Oh my God, it was a sea of purple in the street and speaks. Oh, dude, that should have been amazing. Raven Run. Sonny, I remember everyone hated on you when you suggested that Orlando Brown would be a possible trade bait before Ronnie Stanley was even hurt. That was, dude, it just made sense. And then he made it clear that he wanted to go out, but you have to identify the players that you might lose. Like right now, Pat Ricard is a fan favorite. If he cannot play successfully D tackle this year or defensive lineman, he's traded. He is getting traded, or he's getting let go. One of the two, because Mason was drafted. There's two players that got drafted this year, potentially three, to see if they can push a salary out. Listen to me, is Pat Ricard with this kid from Michigan, right? You then save him the fullback. The other one is Tayon Young. Tayon Young, with all his injuries, even if he plays, best case scenario, if he plays great and then they see the potential on Wade, they trade Tayon Young and they keep Wade. Big salary release, again, looking for money. And third, one of these two guys is not coming to the Ravens next year if Brandon Stevens can become a free safety. Joker or Clark, one of the two. If you see the Ravens giving the mic to PQ, Patrick Queen, that means the Clark it could be on the chopping block. If he stays with the mic, then I'm sorry. I know I love him. I love Joker, but it might be Joker. So let me see here. I appreciate Don. I appreciate way to represent and defend us in the AFC North talk. I try my best, Raven Ron. I try my best, and sometimes it is a dynamic, because I know sometimes I get frustrated because I cannot get all my word in, and I know my guys also. But it's a dynamic of four of us trying to give you guys the best show we can, satisfying and trying to give each of us enough time. And what you see in that show is the raw emotion. We do not script anything. All we do, for example, tomorrow, we know we're going to talk about edge rushers. That's it. We have not talked about rankings, who I rank, who they rank, nothing. So all we know before the show is we're going to talk about edges, and at this time, roughly, we need to read the Manscaped ad. That's it. That's literally all we say to each other about the show. We talk a lot about other stuff, but about the show, that's it. Because we do want you guys to see the raw and then the reaction. If debates get created, which sometimes it does, not all shows get debates. But as the season started, when the teams play each other, that's when the more debates. The guys always make fun of me because there was the game that the Steelers and Ravens were playing each other. Me and Tony got into a big argument. I took my hoodie off because I was pissed, and stuff like that will happen. So it's a good show. I love it. I have a lot of fun with it, and I'm glad people have been, taking it well. I like it. Do you guys drug test? Oh man, Tony's a fun guy, man. Tony's a fun guy. I started with the guys like almost 2.5 years ago. I brought them to the show, and now they were like, "Oh man, people like this. Let's do this." So we own the Browns. Like that. No, tomorrow again. That will happen when we do records. That's when I'm hoping to bring that Raven Run. I'm sorry, I made fun of Quincy talking about well so much. Quincy is very good at talking about balls, and he seems to enjoy it a lot. So I hope he gets back to doing his thing. We have let Tony do the readings because people love it. I think he does a great job. I cannot read that as fast as the guys read. As you see, especially at the beginning when we started that show, most of the comments that were negative was towards me and the people saying that I talk too slow, and I do. I mean, English is my second language. I speak Spanish still most of the day, and I think in Spanish. And sometimes I get stuck, and I'm like, what was this word that I wanted to use, and blah blah blah. So but Tony does a very good job on that. And then when Tony cannot read it, then that's when either you see one of the Ace or Q doing it. I'm definitely not gonna do that because that's not my cup of tea. I will do the running the show. Sometimes they run it, but reading the ad is not my thing. It's just you know your limits, and just reading fast from a prompt is not my thing. It will look very robotic, and that's not what the intention of the show. And Tony puts his own little spin and twin CNAs when they read it. So again, I'm happy that people have been taking a good approach to the show. Okay, where is better for Hollywood, outside or in the slot? Hollywood is good for him to move him all around. I think he's good depending on the matchup. Like outside is good for him because he's so fast, he can burn out. The problem with him in the slot, I think the slot is a good position. The problem that I have with him in the slot is he can get so much more yak, but he sometimes is so afraid. In the playoff game, he wasn't afraid, but sometimes he looks so afraid on the contact that when he goes to the middle of the field, anybody that got close to him, he would just duck and go down. Duvernay doesn't look like that guy. So I want a guy that just, I don't even need to see contact, but I need you not to be afraid of contact, that you can push for that extra yard without being stupid, push for that extra yard. But that's a good question, Raven Ron. So good, Sunny. The only thing you get stuck on is people's name also tripped me out, man. People's names trip me up bad. So I do apologize. By the way, I can't wait to go back to Baltimore. With this, I'm gonna close the show. But I'm gonna be in Florida for a week in October, and we are thinking in the FC North Talk to do a live show, and they just invite people over. And when I go back to America, we might do that we do a road show, Baltimore, Cincinnati, Cleveland, and Pittsburgh. So that, so we take a live show for like a pregame show, whatever. It's still in the works. I mean, it's something we want to do. We need to find a bar. We might have to either sell entrance or something like that for the bar. We don't know yet. I don't know how the regulations in Florida are. But so we are thinking about doing that in the AFC North. If we do, we'll let you guys know. For the people that live near Florida, Ravens play the Bengals in Baltimore that weekend. So obviously, if you are in Baltimore, you want to be in Baltimore for that game. I think that's the weekend. I think I'm not sure. I'm gonna be a little bit jet lag, so obviously, but should be good. So anyway, guys, thank you. Thank you for everything. Don't do your show in there, Marcus, man. We'll see. This is something I'll probably have. Anyway, thank you for everybody. Thank you for everything. Appreciate everybody that was here. Appreciate all the love. I thought it's gonna be a short show. It became a fun conversation, and this is what you can expect until training camp opens, because there's not that many things. I don't want to force topics. Just have a fun show, open lines. If you want to call in, we can talk. If not, obviously through the live chat. Thank you for joining the show. Thank you for the live stream. Thank you to Asmodeus for the donation. Thank you to everybody. Don't forget to hit that like, subscribe, and if you don't mind, share my content with others. I appreciate all of you, and I will see you tomorrow in the AFC North Talk and next Monday here. Take care, y'all.